You say welcome.
All right, we are live. Maybe with a little intro music.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
The number one smash hit.
Yeah, this one's called "Fix the Paladin." All right, welcome to the DM and Friends. Today I have the one and only Chris Clark as the co-host, and we're gonna look at that fade. Did you like that fade?
That was like totally professional.
Wasn't that? Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah, welcome to another session of the DM and Friends live stream. We're here to talk about a bunch of stuff. Today we're going to talk about some conventions. The last session we had on Monday, which was pretty fun role-playing session, I guess. Talk about reactions. And we're going to dive into the orc god Gruumsh. That's how you pronounce it, right? How would you pronounce it?
Badly.
Okay. Gruumsh.
Yeah. But
so hey Fred, how you doing? Howdy Fred. Let me write that in there. Before we start out, I just wanted to give a little shout out to AidCon 3, which is coming up in July of next year. I know it's so far away, but I just did want to give a nice shout out to Eric and Heidi over there. Throw up a little pop up. You can scan that little QR code if you want to go to the website. That's the website, eggcon.fun. I'm sure Chris can talk a lot more about it since you were there last year. I plan on going this year. Probably run some events there. Do some fun. Yeah, talk a little bit about EggCon.
EggCon is held in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. The pardon me for saying so, but it's true, birthplace of D&D. Heidi is Gary's eldest offspring, so it's not coincidence that her name is Gaiax, for those who do not know. Tons of events run at this, but it's probably 1,500 people at the most. So it's a smaller con, very friendly. Last year, one of the highlights for me was Big Rock Night with Stefano, which was just awesome. We all went over to a local pub that had a back room, and we had Stefano's Rock Night with plenty of Ozzy, of course, because Ozzy had passed away last year. But lots of D&D gets played, lots of miniatures gets played, lots of everything gets played at this show. It has a cast of literally hundreds, it seems to me, and I'm probably wrong, it's probably dozens, but of special guests who are all there to do nothing more than sign anything you bring them. And these guests include people like Chet Huntley, the artist, Frank Menser, who everybody knows, Zeb Cook, I believe I saw last year. There's just dozens and dozens of people that go to the show, and we all have a really good time because it's very much a family atmosphere gaming con. It's really pretty cool. So,
yeah, it's one of the. I'm going to be attending this year. It's I think it runs about maybe 500 people, maybe a little less, somewhere around there.
It might be. I think it's a little bit bigger than that now. It was about 500, I believe, on the first year. Maybe second year is last year. I think we crested 500 last year. And when I say we, it's not my con. They are very wonderfully ask me to be a guest every year. I do have a tendency to write their tournament modules for them, although that is not a graven in stone. I believe they may have their own ideas in that regard this year, because, of course, both Heidi and Eric are prolific adventure writers themselves. Somebody new got asked to be a special guest this year. I'm trying to think. It's a name that escapes me. Starts with an A.
I don't think they announced that yet. But
some Italian guy. I don't know. Anyway, now this will be Angelo's first year as a special guest because he's got a podcast and stuff. So he's an important person in gaming.
Not official.
when they say special guest, they don't mean he has to wear his helmet to go outside. Okay, but he's actually gonna bunk, and we commute to the show. He's gonna bunk out here at my domicile along with my good friend Jeremy Wilson, and we are going to drive the untold miles that it takes to get to Lake Geneva. Yeah, it's about 50 minutes on the road. And in the big magic school bus that we take to cons. So, and that's another conversation all unto itself. But
yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah,
I'll fly out to ORD,
either Milwaukee or O'Hare, or
wherever, and camp out with you for. Yeah, you say it's from your house. It's about an hour drive to
a little under, actually, a little under.
Yeah, a little under. Yeah,
because we don't break any land speed records in the bus. So
yeah. All right.
I have some cars that do, but that's not.
And we definitely can't forget. We can't forget North Texas, which is coming up. Obviously, I mean, we got a couple cons coming up here. We got next month is Page.
Yeah. Well, Page is coming up quickly. I do have all of my events in for Page. A number of them still have some slots open, folks. And I would, how do I want to put this? I would throw it out to you and do my best to persuade you to sign up for these events, because when this guy goes to run an event at a con, it's run 3D. Okay, there's miniatures, there's terrain, there's big vinyl battle mats, there's all kinds of. Oh, there he is! All right, all kinds of good stuff. So if you see my events at Page, trust me that they will be immersive.
Yes. And I just got a text from Ron yesterday. I'm trying to get him on the show here to talk a little bit about Page.
This is Michael, people.
So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, our paladin in the group, Michael S. Webster. Hello. Can
you not hear us, Michael?
I don't think he can hear us. All right, work out your audio over there, buddy. So yeah, we got Page coming up too. I believe it's the weekend before 16, 17, 18, 19, around that date in January. And then obviously we also want to talk about North Texas. North Texas is going to be, that's still far away too. It's in June, but I just actually submitted my events for North Texas the other day. I'm going to be running so far 2 separate Boot Hill games, which I did a quick poll on Facebook, and everybody was saying, okay, do 2 instead of 1. So it looks like I'm doing 2 events, and then whatever else I do. But yeah, those are in. Oh boy.
Well, I want to try and find for Dallas, because I believe we will have the Kickstarter either just ending or in the midst of for Castle Wolfmoon at that point.
Yeah,
so I take one of the quests from Castle Wolfmoon that hopefully can be accomplished in 4 hours and turn it into an event for that con. It will be the first official in the castle quest event for Castle Wolfmoon.
Got it.
There have been other campaign level type adventures, for
hold it up over your face there and bring it up.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to pull back over.
That's the cataract.
That was the adventure that is part of the campaign that I actually wrote last year, because I just had to write one more installment. So yeah, and I'm not sure what happened to Michael.
He lost him. Let's see what happened. All right, let's see if Michael comes up. There we go. Can you hear us, Michael?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. I'll do another. We can hear you. I'll give another introduction. This is our paladin in the group, Michael S. Webster. Yeah. Another little mention. In February, I'll be at a con on the West Coast. It's a little con that's been around for many, many years called Strategicon. This one in particular they call OrcCon, which the origination name of that is Orange County Con, and they kind of pushed it together and it became OrcCon. But yeah, I'll be running some Boot Hill over there too, so that'll be a lot of fun. But Yeah. Anyways,
What is this Booty Hill game that you speak of?
Booty Hill game of you speak of? Oh, you know what Boot Hill is. Boot
I
Hill
do.
is a Wild West game that was, I think it started in 1974. It's been around. Alan Hammock was the editor on the second edition, who I had on earlier. It is a bloodbath shoot 'em up game, one of TSR's early games. You played that game, haven't
I
you?
have. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it sounded better when I called it Booty Hill.
Oh, okay. It sounds better, Booty Hill. Yeah, Booty Hill.
I was trying to get spanked, but oh well.
Yeah, yeah. So anyways, yeah, onto the so that's the con report, I guess. We got a bunch coming up. We'll keep talking about them every week. So yeah, last session, session 81, which I entitled the Temple of Gruumsh. You guys spent some time running around the city. It was an absolute role-playing session where looking for that old St. Cuthbert temple that has been converted into a temple of Gruumsh. And, one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is I did a video on it this week, a little bit about reaction. And, I used to use it in the past. There's a section in the DMG. It's based on charisma. And I used it this week for the Ranger's interaction with that lizard man at the door of the tavern that you guys were trying to get into. And, I can see why you would not use that, because as a DM, you could just roll a D6. You could do any kind of weird imaginary mechanic, but AD&D does have a mechanic that I think a lot of people don't use. And, it's based on your charisma. The higher charisma, you have a plus to your reaction roll. The DM rolls on a chart for a D100, and the higher the roll, the more favorable it is for the group. I kind of like that randomness, What do you guys think?
I actually got yelled at for getting too involved in the conversation at the door by
I did. I told you to suck it.
By the Ranger player. Yeah. And I understand why he did that, and he was correct. So for now, I have no opinion. I am Switzerland.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a great mechanic, but yeah. What about you, Michael? What do you, I think as a DM, you can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
Not
I agree when it's used appropriately, I guess. If you go into a bar, you go up to the bartender and ask for a beer. That doesn't necessarily warrant.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you're both there, to drink mass quantities of alcoholic beverage.
Exactly.
But if, like in the example that we had, we were trying to get inside the tavern kind of early. I believe it was just like mid-morning or nearly noon.
Yeah, it was mid-morning, yeah.
Most of their regular patrons are probably not even awake yet.
Yeah.
So to be able to get through the bouncer at the door, definitely required a charisma check and a reaction roll.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty good, especially in situations where the player's charisma or the character's charisma is going to have an effect on a reaction. They're trying to convince somebody to do something, or negotiating some sort of really one-sided bargain. Like with we were in that when we were exchanging our cold hard cash for some cold hard gems, that kind of negotiation back and forth, that's what they're there for. They're doing what that NPC is supposed to be doing. So that didn't require a charisma check and a reaction roll. Yeah. But if we say, we'll give you 1 gold piece for each gem, that's going to be kind of outlandish. And see making a charisma roll and then a reaction roll because, well, the guy's either going to laugh at you or they're going to get violent. So that's a good mechanism to use.
Yeah. You know where that could have been used too. Think about when Chris tried to gain entry into the city, negotiating the fee. You know, I don't even know what you'd call it, as a entrance fee to Highport. You know, you tried to talk him down. That would have been another great opportunity. You know, I think you had casted friends.
I did
in that case, which gives you a higher charisma, which would have put you off the chart, which would have literally almost made every roll that I did favorably. And that's why I didn't even roll it, because I know you were you had a 19 charisma after the
well, I didn't try and completely rape the guy. I mean, you know, I asked for a deal. I got a deal. Yeah,
you got a deal. You got a deal. You got half off.
Yeah, probably good.
It was a good barter. I mean, it was a good haggle, I guess. Yeah.
You know,
But yeah, you know, and what I do is so I'll tell you guys the mechanic or the numbers or the stats, even if you're interested in this. So because the bard was human, the time of day, and the fact that the doorman was a lizard man, I gave it right off the top a -20. And so, but he rolled so well, and his charisma, I think, was I think he had no adjustment on his charisma, but he rolled so high anyways that the -20 brought him down to a favorable outcome anyways. So that's how you guys got in. But, you know, adding factors of, you know, situational factors, you know, as a DM, you should. It's not a hard scale, you know, the chart you're running off of, and I think it's page 63 of the DMG. It's not a hard scale that, you know, you could use. You could always adjust it like anything. And, you know, I like that mechanic because it's not you know, you can use it or you don't. And that's what's so great. It's so modular that it's not going to break the rest of the game, which, you know,
one way or the other. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know, obviously, you know, I won't go into other. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, such a good. Yeah. So anyways, that was my whole spiel on reaction. I'm glad to hear your guys' take on it too. Yeah. I know, Chris, during the game, you, well, I don't know. And we shut you down, but what were you going to say?
That's all right. I don't have to always be the boss. I actually enjoy playing once in a while. So, you know,
sometimes you got to be,
I'm not the boss. I mean, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's anyways, yeah. So that's reaction in a nutshell. And those of you guys that are interested, I just did a video about it showing what tables and stuff. So anyways, all right. So I mean, something else that we wanted to talk about. I wanted to kind of talk about Gruumsh. Here, Fred said something here about let's see what you got. I'll put you on the screen. He says a lot of DMs don't realize they can AD&D plus and to all those charts.
In other words, you can add your own modifiers.
Yeah. And that's a glory of old school, I think. Yeah. All right. So a debate I was having with not a debate, but a little discussion with Joe Block earlier was I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. So you have the orc god of Gruumsh. Is he the one-eyed Cyclops, or is he the orc god with the patch?
Ooh, I would think B.
Well, I think it wasn't in second edition that his lore got expanded to where Corellon basically took out his eye.
So
in battle?
Yeah,
possibly, yeah.
So yeah, there is let me remove this here. So in issue number 62 of Dragon magazine, it goes there's an actual I can bring it up on the screen too if you guys want to see it. But there was an article written by Roger Moore where he gets into the gods of the orcs. And the beginning of it, and I don't know, because this was written in June of 1982, so that lore was AD&D. Yeah,
that would be first edition.
That would be first edition. So this particular article, he talks about there's, and I'll read it. Should I bring it up on the screen?
You can. I don't think.
Yeah, I can read it. I'll read it here. Orcish mythology has several tales of battles between the elves and the orcs deities. Most famous one occurs between Gruumsh and Carillion, who's the main god of the elves. Obviously, the story goes like this: according to the orcs, Gruumsh ambushes Carillion in hopes of slaying him and drinking his blood, so as to inherit his special powers. Gruumsh fails, of course, though his own through his own short-sightedness, no pun intended, I guess. And Carillion shoots an arrow through his eye, and that's how it's explained how he lost his eye. So if you go with that lore, sure, he's got a patch. If you go with the deities and demigods book, he looks like a cyclops.
Well, that's the picture, but what's the description say?
I think it says he lost. I thought it said in that one that he lost his eye from the battle with the Knoll god.
Enogu?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for deities and demigods, it says here that but their leader is Gruumsh. His name is refers to as he who watches. His symbol is a great unblinking eye, which represents the belief. Okay, it appears he's wearing a gleaming back plate mail. Let me see here. Yeah, that's going to be more. Let me see here. Let me see if I can move us around a little bit. Well, let's see there, like that. There we go.
Look, I'm half Angelo and half me.
Yeah.
It says halfway through the first paragraph, Gruumsh himself has but one large eye in the center of his forehead.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I mean, I was thinking it might have just been a misinterpretation by the artist, but no, it's
there it is in blood. Yeah.
Well, that's Diesel, isn't it?
Jeff D.
That's Jeff D.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jeff D. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know that.
Well, here's what I found amazing.
I mean, it's the glory of lore changing.
Here's what I found amazing. The guy has one eye, but his favorite weapon is a missile weapon.
Yeah, what does it
He's
say
got
there?
no depth perception, but his favorite weapon is a missile weapon.
Hey, he's a god. and check this out, Chris. He's a greater god too. So
well, that's true. I can get through it. It's right there. Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't need depth perception. He sees all. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, he's got the unwinking eye, which represents the belief or watches each and every judges him.
What is that?
Whoa! What is that?
That's my phone ringing.
Oh, okay.
Don't feel bad, Michael. I put mine in the top dust drawer. Because it does that. The minute you don't want it to is when it rings. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so interesting. This. I mean, if you go with the deities and demigods version of this, I mean, I think really the only thing that I see as a change is the lore of what he looks like and how he lost his eye. It's kind of a minor detail. That's up to the DM to figure that out. But this guy's what I thought was interesting, and no hint at all. To become a shaman of Gruumsh, an ore must be plucked out of his left eye. The proper worship of him requires blood in large quantities, preferably blood from a human or demi-human race. Elves are best of all. Yeah, and so they range up to about 5th level in ability. So I don't know. You guys getting ready to go into
on the bright side, Michael? That means no flame strike. Because that's after 5th level. So but there might wind up being another command spell duel. Although I don't
dear.
Gruumsh naked, so it's only going to happen, I think, if it's a priestess.
Yeah, we're going to end up seeing a orc priestess naked, aren't we?
Well, and I'm okay with that. I don't.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if you'll see any female orc priestess. We'll see about that. Yeah, but
anyway. I think you do know whether or not we'll see them. I think you're lying right now.
Yeah.
Or at least prevaricating, perhaps not lying outright.
So have any of you guys used? I mean, he's such a. I mean, in my campaigns, he's such a big force because orcs are everywhere. It seemed like, but have you guys? What's been your dealings as DMs in any of your games or campaigns or anything like that? Have you ever used him as a force?
As you're likely aware, I came up with my own deity for Castle Wolfmoon.
Yeah, for orcs.
No, actually, for the wolf wearers.
Oh, okay, for the wolf wearers.
They owe their allegiance to the Fang Queen, who is actually a demigod. She's not a fully fledged god. Yeah. But she is able to be brought into the prime material plane physically if she is allowed to possess the body of a maiden with golden irised eyes, hence the ritual of the golden eyes. Yes. So that's how that all ties together.
Yeah. How about you, Michael?
Not directly, but I use that as kind of the basis of the great animosity between elves and orcs.
Got it.
Well, that would make sense. Yeah.
Well,
in to be blatantly honest, I was just lazy that I didn't want to have to read up on gods that already existed and make sure I fully understood the lore before proceeding. Yeah. So I just, came up with it whole cloth. It's just.
Have you guys ever ran any games where you're interacting with deities?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tell me which ones.
Most famously, I did the module for GaryCon that had Demogorgon in it, if you'll remember. And true to his nature, he actually had two different projections onto the prime material plane because he is split personality disorder. He's insane. And so this portion of him existed on this plane and this portion existed on this plane. And depending on where the party went, depended on which version they ran into. But yeah. And of course, it's a central feature of the Castle Wolfmoon campaign.
Yeah. Which module was that? Which one are you talking about that you wrote?
The Gate. I want to say.
Oh, the Gate.
I believe so.
That was for. Was that for
2017? Maybe.
Was that for GaryCon? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I was there that year. Yeah. How about you, Mike?
Well, I have had divine encounters before, but none where I was the DM. At least not for D&D.
Oh.
For Call of Cthulhu, oh yes.
Yeah. And you're a big Call of Cthulhu fan, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You've written a couple of things for Call. Are you currently doing something, if I recall?
Well, I'm working on a Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Got it.
That I will be self-publishing.
Oh, okay.
Cool. And Kickstartering.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to check the rules for it, and Chaosium has for it. So
yeah, okay.
Whether or not
see where they are with it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Do they have an OGL type of?
Yes. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's with with their basic role-playing game system, which Call of Cthulhu is based on it. Okay. So if you can use their essentially the basic role-playing system as OGL, I forget what they call it.
Got it.
Yeah. You can use that for your own game system or your own campaign world.
Yeah. I mean, they have to, because there's a lot of material out there that I've seen kickstarted through, for that has the Cthulhu name on it. And so,
Yep. They also have in drive-through, kind of like how there's the Dungeon Masters Guild.
Yeah.
On drive-through, but theirs is called Miskatonic University.
University, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, or archives or something like that.
Yeah.
I miss Greg.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
No, quick shout out for Greg Stafford, who perhaps was one of the sharpest, most intelligent people in the games industry I had ever met. He's been gone a few years now, but yeah, Greg was just something else. He was really cool. Used to have lunch with him at Origins every year. So I bought, but still.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't expect Greg to show up if I hadn't been paying. Who the hell am I? But it was worth it just to be able to listen to him from a business aspect tell me about where he thought the industry was going and what was up with this. Why this is why we don't do that, Chris. And just a brilliant guy, though. Absolutely a brilliant guy.
Yeah. All right. So what's the verdict? What Gruumsh which one do we lean towards?
The one that can't hit anything with his
one-eyed?
spear because he has no depth perception. That's the one.
Whichever.
So the one with the patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
I'm kind of leaning towards that too. I mean,
the orcs themselves, their totems and their statuary could have the single eye, basically, because then in that case it negates any elven involvement.
Yeah.
I would suggest one other thing too. When Gary and I were working on the Egyptian mythos for Legendary Adventure, it became very obvious that gods morphed over time in the Egyptian mythos. So, for instance, you've got pictures of Ra from when Ra first made an emergence as an Egyptian deity that is the sun god, and he's got rays coming out of his head and all this wonderful stuff. But there are later versions of him where he's got a staff and he's all powerful instead because he has morphed, but it's still Ra. And so the original worshipers, will say, I don't know, less filling, and the secondary worshipers say tastes great or whatever else. But you can do both actually too, and still have it be all within one canon, just that they allow for the fact that the god appears as the god appears. I mean, we're not going to tell the god how to show up,
Yeah. Yeah, like Cuthbert has several ways that he shows up on the material plane. He could be a pilgrim. He could come as the warrior that he came with you guys, or other ways. So they're gods. Yeah. So they can look any way they want. I think the patch one. Think about the clerics. The clerics of Gruumsh need to pluck out an eye, so they're trying to look like him. But you could. The closest image would be is missing his left eye, but I think I'm going to lean towards Roger Moore's, his adaptation of him. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens Monday.
I'm trying to think. In '82, wasn't Roger also the editor? I think Tim was gone at that point, and I think Roger was the editor.
Issue 60. I think it was later.
Really? It might have been. I might be off a year or two.
Hey, let me bring it up and let's look. How's that? Oh, we'll look together here.
I can't even remember when I submitted articles, because some of them I submitted to Tim, and then all of a sudden oh no, Roger's doing that now. Oh, okay. And Roger was a lot easier to work with, although I'm still friends with Tim. Roger, I've lost sight of.
So this is the article I was speaking of.
Okay, that looks like a top secret ad there in the middle. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh God, we just got stuck. Anyways,
Yeah,
I will go to the beginning and we'll look and see who the editor was.
Yeah, check the masthead.
Mm-hmm.
should be right in there. Yep.
I don't see where they gave those. Here we go. Editor in chief.
Oh, Kim. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot Kim was in there too. In between the two. Yes.
Yeah. Contributing editors. There you go. Yeah, obviously Ed Greenwood's in there. Yeah. Yeah. So let me go to so if we look at Gods of the Orcs, page 28. Come down here.
It's not.
See, this was actually a really good issue. They go through the gods of the half orcs, and then there's this section here, gods of the orcs by Roger Moore, and the paragraph that I read you guys was right here,
Right.
talking about the orc mythology, yeah. So interesting. Yeah. So if you keep reading. Though the arrow failed to blind Gruumsh, apparently it was not intended to. Elven stories of the same event, much briefer than the tedious Orcish versions, say that Carillion meant the arrow as a warning to Gruumsh of his vulnerability, a hint that it would only take a loss of his eye to break Gruumsh's powers as a god, and that some being might be capable of bringing this about him if they were not more careful. Okay, so yeah,
I remember an episode where a ranger got the headshot through the eye and it just killed the guy.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So this article too, it really goes in through some of the lesser gods of the orcs, which is really cool. You got this. I don't even know how to pronounce that. How would you pronounce that? Yurtis.
Your trust.
Okay.
You know, like when you need extra support.
Yeah, no kidding. Urus is the white hand, terrifying orc god of death and disease. Yeah, he looks like he is, doesn't he?
He doesn't look good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had
And then you got Shargas.
Say it properly.
Shargas, the lesser god, and he is the Night Lord, lives in a tremendous cavern system below the fiery plane of one of the levels of. Oh, look at that, nasty. Yeah. So there's this guy. He's another lesser god, and then there's God. Look at how do you pronounce that? Bagat.
True.
Bagat. Another lesser god. Oh, looks like you guys can take this character on AC1. Look at that.
Yeah. Let's take him out.
Okay. Yeah. So he's the son of Gruumsh and Luthric, the cave mother, daughter scorned. Yeah, look at that guy. He's another nasty one. Then you got Irvinel or Nelville.
Ilnaville.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Roger had a good time making the names for these ones.
I think he used a set of Scrabble cubes.
Yeah. So when Gruumsh does not have time to command armies of hell, he turns his job over to his chief lieutenant, another lesser god. He's a nasty looking guy. Look at that guy. Oh, okay. And this is the wife of. I don't know about wife, but
she needs a mani petty something fierce.
Yeah, look at those nails. Woof. AC3, 287 hit points. Oh my God. So Luthic, lesser god. Covers several spheres. She's a goddess of female orcs, orc fertility. Oh boy, look at that. Orc fertility. Okay. And she serves Gruumsh. Primitive medicine. Yeah. So here's your summary of the orcs. Man, I really love some of these old articles of Dragon. There's so much great great info and lore in those early issues, man.
But you were like what, 6 at the time? So
I was in 82. I would have been 9 years old. So it's about.
There's a lot of big words in there for a 9-year-old.
Yeah. Well, that's, what's funny is that I had to keep a dictionary with me. So I looked them up. Doesn't mean I retained them. But I will say that reading the DMG and the Player's Handbook, it increased my vocabulary just a little bit, and then I forgot it right after that.
Wherever he's watching from right now, Gary is smiling because every time I would suggest that he take one of his 16-syllable words and use something simpler and more modern, he would tell me, "No, they can go buy a damn dictionary."
Exactly,
and it would say, "Agathologically speaking," and I'm like, "What?" No, it stays. You know what I mean?
I would lay one caveat on that, and make sure it's a Webster's dictionary.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Michael, Webster dictionary.
Yeah, see, that's where I need sound effects. Oh my god, I need to do that. Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
I thought I sent you some, but they don't work.
Next show we're gonna get some sound effects in there because that would have been a great. Yeah, that was really witty.
Gary was adamant about not dumbing down his language ever.
Yeah, well, no reason to. I mean, I think it forced a lot of us youngsters to.
I wasn't the same youngster you were, but okay. I was a junior in college in 1982.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I'm sorry that you're an old fart. So
me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm right in between. I was a freshman in high school in 82.
82. Okay, so I'm the youngest out of the group here. Yeah. So I was born in 73. I started playing around. I know that the Monster Manual kind of was out already. Player's Handbook was out. I think it was around 1980, 81. I just say 81.
It was out. Yeah, it was out.
Yeah, because that's what I kind of first. I mean, that's the original. Menser's wasn't out yet, but
Arcana, I believe it was.
No, Menser's Red Box was in 83.
Oh no, yeah, the Red Box was not out yet. No.
Yeah, but the other two versions, I think Holmes and Mulvey were out at that point. So I had seen those, but
there was one very important release in 1982. I don't know if you remember this.
What was that?
The most important release of 1982.
What was that?
The Inner City role-playing system.
Oh yeah, and
I'm not hurt.
The problem with that is I couldn't get it in our local shop.
Well, that's because I think distribution for us was middle through central Wisconsin and southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one distributor. One.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that's funny that people don't realize is now you can just go to drive-through and get,
Oh yeah.
Like things are so readily available. But there is a problem with that is there's so much. And so it's like, but it's available, you know what I mean? But back then, man, whatever was in the gaming store, boom, that was it. And D&D was being pushed pretty hard then. So yeah.
It was
well, that's one other thing that where Dragon came in. Because if they sold the role-playing games, they would sell Dragon. And then you would read about some new game or see an ad. Like, I know it was the case I saw they had advertised the Doctor Who role-playing game by FASA. And so I went to our local game store and asked them to order it for me.
You know what? I'm going to step away real quick. And I'm going to...
Did you enjoy it, Michael?
I did.
I enjoyed playing it. The problem was... there could only be one player that was Doctor Who.
Well, that's assuming if you're playing with the Doctor as a Time Lord.
Correct.
We didn't.
Correct. Yeah.
So we had companions. I had a group of like 4 people, and 2 of them were Time Lords.
Okay. I didn't run. I played, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't get to play Doctor Who, so I was bummed. I mean, I was ready to whip out celery and all sorts of things.
It's funny. I think that talking about seeing that stuff in Dragon, these are 2 things that I saw in Dragon that Fred was with me at the time too. I don't know if he's still on here, but I saw this, and this caught my eye. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Oh.
This was Ice, Merp,
Rollmaster, yep.
fantasy hero at the time, but the Robin Hood cover, man, I don't know why, I just love this, and I pulled a lot of stuff from this, but this was one thing. And then this is a game that Fred and I used to play when we were not this exact one, because I think there was this is the revised version, but the first edition that we played was a red book, a black book. I think it's back there, but if you guys remember Palladium back in the day, we used to play a lot of this.
Right.
Do you guys remember Recon?
Yep.
It was a Vietnam War game, role-playing game that we played. But seeing that in Dragon, and I think we got the store to grab it for us, and they ended up putting it on the shelves. But yeah, that was your only avenue back in the day, was through advertisements.
No way you can find out. There were no computers to do layouts on, even, my friend. I mean, the original game that we designed had to be done on a typewriter and then sent into a typesetter. And for $900, they typeset our original game for us.
Wow.
It was like a third the cost of what it cost us to print the darn things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for the PC, huh?
Yeah.
Look at us now.
Man, yeah, times have changed for sure.
Yep.
That's a definite thing. All right, gentlemen. Well, what do you guys say? We're coming up to the end of the hour. Any
Well, I wanted to ask Michael, what do you think our chances are, big guy? We're sneaking in on Monday night.
Monday night.
We're going to cast a big 10-foot invisibility.
I think we have 100% chance of martyrdom.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So you have a great trip into the temple, and I'll see you when you get back. It's okay. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Again, this is DM Angelo. We got Chris Clark here, Michael Webster. We're here every Thursday night talking about whatever we're talking about. All right.
With this guy. That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, these two guys over here, I don't know where they're at.
Yep.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, everybody take care. We'll see you next week. All right.
Good game.
Bye-bye.